Hey, good morning, Speak New Lifers, and welcome back to a walk and talk or stroke park vlog. I hope everyone's having a great day. I just wanted to come on here because, this is what we do. We come on here, we speak life, and we expect life because God is amazing. And so I'm just going to jump straight into what I want to talk about today, which is something that I read in Isaiah 60 this morning. So the word of the day, should I say, which was out of the YouVersion Bible, was Isaiah 60, verse 3. And what I tend to do, or what myself and Kevin tend to do, is like we tend to go back and just read the whole chapter, just so we can see if there's anything else that stands out to us in that chapter, right? And it was in the last verse of Isaiah 60, and it's verse 22, and it simply says here, "The smallest family will become 1,000 people, and the tiniest group will become a mighty nation. At the right time, I, the Lord, will make it happen." And as we were reading it this morning, one of the first things that stood out to us, and that stood out to me for sure, was he said, at the right time, right? And it's just knowing that God has an appointed time for everything. He's not ignorant to anything. He's not blind to anything. He knows exactly when, how, why, where. There's no stone unturned. He's not oblivious to things. He is fully aware. He says that not even a bird falls to the ground without him knowing about it. Like, nothing in this universe beats without him. Like, there is nothing that has life in it or doesn't have life in it that he's not aware of, because in order for it to exist, he had to first create it, even down to the strand of hair on your head, right? So as I was reading this was the thing, and not even just the strands of hair, like everything that takes to make a strand of hair, he is aware of. Like every molecule and everything within a molecule, he knows, because he first had to create it in order for it to be and to exist. And so when we realize this, when we meditate on this, when I meditate on this and I begin to think about everything, like I'm sat in a park right now, and there are trees on trees, there are blades of grass. Like, you can't even begin to count how many blades of grass there are in this park alone. But the only reason why that single blade of grass exists is because God created that blade of grass not a week ago, not a year ago, but from the very beginning, when he called forth vegetation out of the earth. And he says, he's going to put the seed within itself to create it and recreate it and keep on recreating it. And so therefore he knows everything. And this is such a reassuring perspective, because it's like, God, you know everything. There isn't anything that you do not know. And then here you're saying that at the right time. So he was talking to the children of Israel here, and he was saying, the smallest family will become 1,000 people, and the tiniest group will become a mighty nation. And again, this is like a word of encouragement, because it doesn't matter how small you think you are. It doesn't matter where you think you're at. It doesn't matter if you think you're just one person and you're thinking, well, what can one person do? How can one person change the world? How can one person change my neighborhood? How can I do this on my own? One, you're not by yourself. You have God on your side, and he's given you words like this to sustain you and to keep you and to encourage you, right? But he's like, even everything that he starts in seed form. Everything that God starts, he starts in seed form. And so the only thing that he didn't start in seed form directly was Adam. But everything else, he's like, he called it forth. He pretty much called forth. So everything that has been recreated since the sixth day has not been like started from maturity. It started in seed form. So we're not to get discouraged when we start something and we feel small. When he spoke the word to Mary regarding Jesus, he knew the plans and the purposes that he had through Jesus, through himself in the body of a man. And even though he knew it was going to be through one person, our Savior, Jesus Christ, he saw the billions upon billions upon billions of people that were going to be impacted by one person, right? But he had to start somewhere. And he said he did this at the right time. At the right time, he says, I, the Lord, will make it happen. And so we know that Jesus came at the appointed time. He couldn't have come earlier. He couldn't have come any later. He came at the exact time that God wanted him to be here, right? God being God in the flesh. He knew when he needed to be here. He knew when this was going to be accomplished. He knew what needed to be done, and he came and he accomplished it. And it was done within his time at the right time. And the Lord is saying, I will make it happen. I'm going to make it happen. It's not you that's going to make it happen. You're not going to make it happen through your own efforts and your own strengths. And this is what he was saying to me this morning. Like, Davina, you're not going to make it happen in your own strength, in your own time, in your own ability. This isn't about you and your timing. This is about me. And I see the whole picture. I see the whole thing, how everything knits together. I see how, like, what you consider to be a delay, but I see it as perfect timing. Because I know how that ties in with that, and how that ties in with that, and how that ties in with something that's going to happen 20 years from now. And if it happened any sooner, it's not going to happen in the alignment. But everything happens according to my will and my purpose. I make it happen. And so I feel like one of the reasons why I'm even sharing it on this video is like, don't grow discouraged, you know, when you see things and it looks like something's not happening, or it looks as though the time has passed you by. Trust God's timing. Trust his timing. Trust that he's able to take small things and multiply them. He says, you know, the smallest family. What could be a smallest family? Two people, the smallest family. Myself and Kevin, and we're not even that small, because we have parents, we have siblings, we have cousins. There are some people out there that don't have anybody, literally nobody, no parents, no siblings, no cousins, no aunties, no uncles, no grandparents. They are by themselves, right? And he's saying, even in that, even in the smallest of families, you will become 1,000 people. There's this movie that Kevin and I watch, right? It's called Mully. I've mentioned it on here on some of my videos before, but if you haven't seen it, go over on YouTube and watch Mully. Just put in Mully, M-U-L-L-Y. And it's the story of this guy in Kenya who he started out as a street boy, became a multi-millionaire. God asked him to give it all up and to go back and help the street kids, right? And from that, it's an amazing story. It's a real story. It's a true story. And it's happening before our eyes, because it's happening right here, right now in Kenya. Like, this thing is playing out. But it was like him and his wife. It started with him. God put the idea in his heart. And then he eventually shared it with his wife and his family. And they began to multiply. Not through their natural birth, but by going back and gathering up those street kids that did not have a family. And now they have this whole massive, and it's a massive family, and it's called Mully's Children's Family, because they're family, that all these kids are their kids, right? And these kids are growing up to be adults and responsible adults and have children of their own and get married. It's insane. But the idea came from God. The idea came directly from God. When he thought that he was done with his family and he was building everything that he was for his family, God said, no, you don't get it. This thing is bigger than you. This thing is way bigger than you. And so potentially, what is God saying to you that he's asking you to do, or showing you something to show you that this is way bigger than you? And though you may be the tiniest group, though you may see yourself as alone or single or just one person, God is saying, if you will trust me, if you will allow yourself to trust me, I can take even what you consider to be the tiniest and the smallest and turn it into something so mighty and so great and so profound. But it's only going to happen when I cause it to happen. It's only going to happen when I make it happen. He says your human effort accomplishes nothing. So again, all this message is about, it comes down to, will you trust him? And how do you show that you trust him? How do we show that we trust him? Day by day, moment by moment, what do? We say what he tells us to say. We go where he tells us to go. And we do what he tells us to do. And in that is the promise of thousands, of mighty, and the fact that it is going to happen. So, praise God. I don't know who that message was for, if it's for anyone. If it's for you, leave it in the comments, say something, let us know that you've heard it. Yeah, we'd greatly appreciate that. And then also, I mentioned before, I do discovery calls, 15-minute complimentary discovery calls. If you are looking for your next step and you don't know what it is, you don't know where to go, you don't know how to get there, jump on a discovery call. It's not that I have the answers. It's that the one who is the answer is potentially, if you're born again, already living on the inside of you. And he's desiring to show you himself, because he says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And so if you just want to voice it out, go to my website, speaknewlife.com, and book a discovery call. And even maybe just through a 15-minute conversation, as brief as that may be, it may be the very thing that you need to hear yourself say out loud to help you know exactly where to take your next step. It's that simple, or at least I can say it could be that simple. But yeah, love you all. Thanks for watching and joining on this video, and have a blessed day. All right, bye-bye.
It makes